In the world we live in today, as managers and leaders in organizations, we must be mindful of our team members' time, both their time at work and their time away from work. In this week's Engineering Management Lessons video, the first of 2 on this topic, I'm going to give you 3 actions that you can take to be more mindful of your team members' workflow, productivity, and personal lives during the workday, all which will improve your relationships with them and the overall success of your team. This week's EML video is brought to you by Colliers Engineering and Design.
Colliers Engineering and Design is a trusted provider of multidiscipline engineering, architecture, design, and consulting services to public and private clients nationwide. Utilizing the most advanced technologies available maintains their position as an industry leader. Their comprehensive suite of services includes civil site, architecture, transportation, governmental, survey and geospatial, infrastructure, geotechnical and environmental, telecommunications, utilities and energy, and project management. Colliers Engineering and Design values their employees and takes pride in their culture. With a focus on professional development and a family atmosphere, some of their offerings are a comprehensive mentorship program, a hybrid work environment, and competitive benefit packages. For more information about how you can join their team, find them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or visit their website at colliersengineering.com.
We live in a world today that for many still consists of a lot of remote work. However, others are back in an office setting. But regardless of where your staff sits, it is critical that you be mindful of their time, both during work hours and off work hours, because your consideration in this matter will affect their productivity as well as your relationship with them, both short-term and long-term. So, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 actions that you can take to respect their time during the workday, whether you work in the same office or not. And next week, I'm going to give you 3 actions that you can take to respect their time during off work hours. Let's do it. Number 1, minimize random communications. With all of the different communication tools at our disposal today, like email, Teams, Slack, and others, whenever an idea comes into your mind, you can easily send it to your staff. While doing so might make you feel better in the moment, we don't always realize the detriment to the productivity of the person on the receiving end of those messages. Instead, try putting all of these random thoughts, ideas, or tasks into one document. And then, once that document gets filled up, whether it takes an hour, every couple of hours, or once a day, then try to communicate those items to your team in a more organized manner, maybe utilizing a task management system to help you assign these thoughts or tasks to others. Now, if something comes to mind that is extremely urgent and needs to be dealt with in the moment, which happens, then it's okay for you to send a message to them at that time. But usually these things aren't as urgent as we feel they are. And by allowing your staff to keep working on what they're working on in a focused manner, you'll be better off by batching these random thoughts and sending them at one time. Number 2, meet each team member individually at least once per week. I know people have different views on meetings and their effectiveness. However, if meetings, especially one-on-one meetings, are run effectively, they can drastically improve productivity as well as the relationship between the 2 parties meeting. When you meet with your team members, make sure that you have a simple agenda, and this could be the same agenda that you utilize each week in these meetings. And on that agenda, make sure that you cover their most important tasks or top priorities for the coming week and what they need from you in order to achieve them. Number 3, create and follow processes for everything you do with your team. This is another way that you can eliminate some of the back and forth communication messages with your team members that can be distracting by ensuring that you have a good process for everything that you need to do with your team. This also ensures that things don't get missed and ensures that there is not over or under communication happening. For example, Let's say that someone on my team prepares invoices for me whenever I need them. We make a sale. I send him a message asking him to create the invoice, providing some instructions. He creates the invoice and sends it back to me. I review it, and changes need to be made. So again, I send him a message with the changes. He revises it and sends it back to me. It looks good, so I get back to him and I tell him to send the invoice out. Man, that was a lot of back and forth for one invoice. Instead, I could have created a shared document, like a Google Sheet or an Airtable, so that whenever I need an invoice, I can go in, make an entry in that table with instructions for what I need, and then once or twice per week, he can go into the sheet, look at all the invoices that are needed, create them all at once, and post them there. And then at some other time, I can go in, I can review those invoices, and I can somehow designate that they are good to go. Thinking through some of your processes, like this example, can really increase your productivity and give your staff more focused time to do the work that they need to do. I hope you found these tips helpful, and I hope you can apply some of them immediately, and I hope that you'll consider subscribing to our YouTube channel here. Next week, we'll publish the second video in this series, which will cover 3 actions that you can take to respect your team members' time during off-work hours, something that is difficult to do in the world we live in today. We put videos out like this weekly to help engineers become better managers and leaders. I'll see you next week.